This week is actually the last week in our current apartment, and so for this video I wanted to do something which would kind of capture the essence of this home that we have spent the last few years in, and also show you that you don't necessarily need to go outside of your house to do some urban sketching. Our new apartment is generally better, but the one thing that this apartment has are the dynamic views outside. New buildings pop up everywhere, roads have changed a lot over the last years, and we are basically watching the evolution of this area throughout the years. So I wanted to try and capture that, and I think it will be really interesting to see how it will look in the next few years. For this video, I did 3 drawings. The first is what you're seeing me draw right now. It's out of my bedroom window. I used to be able to see further into the distance, but now this new government building is being constructed, so very soon I'll lose the lovely morning light that comes into my window. For the sketch, I'm using just a regular ballpoint ink pen. It's a 0.5 nib, which is actually quite thick when it comes to sketching pens, but for this ballpoint pen it was not so bad. It was kind of more in the range of a 0.1 sketching pen. I tried to convey the depth through shading, and because it's a new pen I kind of struggled a bit, though I do firmly believe you can make a good sketch with a not so expensive pen, even though there were some limitations. For example, the line was a bit too thick for the delicacy that I wanted to convey, so that was an issue, but I kind of just went with it throughout the sketch. You know, the good thing about sketching is that it really captures the memories in a much more magical and memorable way. If I was to simply take a photo of this view, it would be so uninteresting and probably just be deleted off my camera roll. But sketching instantly makes it worth looking at, and it means that once you start sketching, the entire world becomes interesting to you. Even mundane things like building scaffolding, you know what I mean? The second view that I wanted to capture was the metro station right outside of our balcony. It's probably, well, no, it is the most interesting and useful landmark that's right next to our apartment block, and so I really kind of wanted to capture that. I have done so over the last few years, but I kind of wanted to do it again, standing on location on the balcony, so I went out at around 6 AM. It wasn't too bad. The humidity is quite bad at this time of year in Dubai, but it was all right. This was my least favorite sketch because it did not turn out the way I wanted it. My easel is best used when sitting down, so it's very difficult to use when I'm standing up, which is what I had to do in order to see the metro station over my balcony, which, as you can see, it has got this kind of opaque star pattern on it, kind of this Islamic geometry pattern. And so I was basically drawing at almost waist height. It was quite difficult. I couldn't get much control of the pen, and yeah, I mean, it was just overall quite difficult, so I just wasn't able to sketch with as much control as I wanted. However, if there's anything I've learned from these exercises, it is to just let go of any expectations that I have with regards to how the sketch is going to turn out, and just finish the sketch. It's really, I can't emphasize how important that is, to not abandon your sketches, because you really don't know what you're going to learn, and you can really come across some really nice surprises in the end. Alright, by the time I got to the last sketch, it was so hot, so I had to just sit inside and do it. Luckily, we have really big windows which kind of face all around the apartment, so I was able to still get a good view. And in light of the second sketch that I did, where I wasn't able to get much line control, I actually decided to take that in my stride and do a one-line drawing, but this time with a really thick 0.5 pen. So like I said, sketching pens vary in thickness compared to a ballpoint pen. So earlier in my first sketch, I used a 0.5 ballpoint, which was obviously a lot thinner than this one, which is a sketching pen. I believe it's a Staedtler. And the second sketch pen I used, I believe, was a Uniball 0.05. Oh no, actually, turns out I was using a 0.1 pen at that point. Anyways, back to the third sketch. As you can see, I'm just a lot more loose with my line work, and honestly, doing it this way really helped me to actually capture what was in front of me instead of worrying about whether I was getting the shapes right and whether I was able to fit everything. Luckily, somehow I was able to fit everything that I wanted to fit into the page, and doing it with such a thick pen and with one line, or generally with one line anyway, I did come off the page a few times, but with one line, with a thick pen, it really constrained me and just made me stop being so perfect about things. And I really like the way this turned out in the end. It's definitely my favorite sketch, and it just, yeah, I mean, I really want to do more sketches like these, and in fact I think next week's video is going to be similar or based on this. And these lampposts kind of add to the depth of the scene because they get smaller as the scene fades into the background. Even capturing the details in that really thick pen was quite a fun exercise. And yeah, right here I'm just capturing the Friday morning cricket that goes on every week. Just a nice little memory to put there. Later on in the sketch, I go in with the 0.05 pen to add in kind of the background details because, like I said, it's quite a humid day, so there's a lot of fog in the air, so the background is quite misty, so I tried to keep it light in order to allow the foreground to really stand out. And then I also added in some notes in the end, just for my own viewing pleasure later on down the line to help me remember things. And that's that. I now have 3 sketches in addition to the other sketches that I've done in this apartment to remember this place, and I'm really excited to be moving forward into a new chapter and do more sketches and more videos in our new apartment. So I'll see you next week for another video. Bye.